This is the table that I picked up for free outside of someone's house, and it had an original frame which I completely replaced and I rebuilt with 4x4 posts as legs, and I used 2x6s for the horizontal members, and they also have a camber, so they're crowned up. I picked crown boards for this. This way the table has no chance of having a reversed concave in the center where the router is going to sit. And you can see this is actually an extending table, so these panels here come right off. This is where I started being creative and decided to turn it into a router table. Got some 1-inch plywood, and I've cut it down to fit perfectly here. And you may be wondering why there's a gap, but there's actually going to be trim going here. Rout-R-Lift. And that's going to be in the center of the plywood. First I have to make a template to use the router that I have right there to router out this into this. Take wood material, straight edge, and go around. Now I'm just going to screw these in, and I'm going to make the holes, and then I'm going to connect them with the jigsaw just to remove most of the material. And then I'm going to use the router to follow along this. It's in here, there's no wobble. There we go. Now we're going to use a 1/2-inch circle, whatever the hell it is, bit, and we're going to drill these circles in the 4 corners, and then we're going to connect it and make the template. And now we're going to connect all these holes with the jigsaw roughly. After that, I'm going to use a flush trim bit and get the straight edge on this. There we go. Now we can connect this with the flush trim bit router. The most important thing here is that you stop on time. Check it out. Template ready to go. It's a picture frame. Hello. Check that out. You can see the lines, right? So everything that's in this section right here is going to be cut out. Everything in this section, it's going to be just dropped down. The multi-tool, it just cuts straight because of this long fence it has back here. So I just... Okay, looks good guys, very good. Sorry if I'm blinding the shit out of you. Look at that. Beauty. The threaded inserts will have to be installed now. So I'm using a center punch that's pretty big, and I mark my hole. You can see the mark right there, and then I'm going to put that in there. But I need to add more material to the bottom now. This piece of plywood I'm going to just put right here, like that. Then I'm going to cut out the center with the router again. Also, it's going to add a little bit of support for the box later. I've got it cut out over here. That's the plywood. And now I'm going to use a bottom bearing bit with a Milwaukee router. So we're getting ready to put the threaded inserts. I've got a lot of meat in here now. I can test it. Try to square it up. There we go. T-slots, and they're gonna fit in there like this. This over here is the miter slot that I'm going to have on the router table, and I'm also having the guides for the fence here. Check out the frame. So the glue's dry now, but you can see all of it sticking out like that, coming out. 2-part epoxy. I'm gonna use that to mount the metal miter slot in there. This is gonna be the fence. It's gonna have these feather boards, and in between each feather board, I'm gonna have an arc to the next feather board, which will be right here, like that. There will be cutouts just for weight savings. And now I'm going to put it on top of the plywood, glue it and screw it. After that, I'm going to run some banding. Then we'll mount it onto the platform. We're going to glue it up and then we're going to put the screws in. Just going around the perimeter with the banding. So this is a rabbeted joint here, and we're going to get some glue and screws. And we're going to have the supports this way. Vac block. I call it the vac block because it's going to allow you to use your vacuum, as well as it being a block, which is a zero clearance insert once you notch your bit in. Got the dados, they're all lined up. This is the zero clearance insert vacuum block. There will be a vacuum attachment here. And this is a dado, there's a rabbet, and this goes into here. That. So when you put the screw into here, the bolt, it's going to pressurize the block. And it's going to force this out, but look at that. It's so tight. There's no way you're pushing this out. So you can see I got a rabbet around. And this is the piece I chose to use. So it's a vacuum for one of the smaller vacuums. This is the box. You can look in the box. We can just record that. This right here is a center vacuum port. It's in the center because if you have one on the side, then it will create a vortex. If you have it in the center, it sucks up everything. Over here, I just have some styrofoam to reduce the noise, and even styrofoam on the cable here to reduce the vacuum from becoming weaker. As you guys can tell, I've been using this machine because I need to test it and all kinds of stuff. And that caused the finish to get kind of beat to shit. And that's okay because we're going to seal it now. But I'm going to sand it, and then we're going to also install some tool holding mounts along with router bit holders, and finally an on and off switch. The huge deal for me is the on and off switch. I'm applying 2 coats of stain, then 2 coats of polyurethane with sanding in between. Router table is finished and it's dying for a walkthrough. Let's do it. Look at this. Back here, tool storage. Plate remover, slides into there. Rout-R-Lift Allen key. Remover Allen key. Holding knob. Throat plate inserts. Spring loaded. You can get your thumb in there. Select whichever one you want and then put them back. Let it go, just like that, holds them into position. These thumb screws, we've got the side screws for the vacuum block, and we're going to get to that vacuum block. That's the first thing we're going to do, is show you how to install the vacuum block. Let's do it. This is the vacuum block stock, and to have it work, we need to mill a dado right to the center, which will lead up into the channel for the vacuum at the back. We're going to use a 1/2 inch dado bit, and we're going to set the fence like that and run it through. This is my switch. It works by turning on and off the outlet over here, and in the outlet I have a vacuum and the router. So when I press the button, they both turn on. And I have the same switch on the other side, just in case if I want to use the longer side of the router table for like really big stuff. See over here? That's the exact same switch. And it controls the outlet right here. It controls this outlet. That means it's ambidextrous, this table. I can use it from both sides. For now, we're going to use this side. From the back of that wall to the edge is 5.5 inches. This means we need to cut the vacuum block to 4 inches so that there's enough space for the vacuum to have suction. We're going to use the feather board as a straight edge so that we can screw it into position. Now we can torque down the block, but first we need to apply pressure forwards. So you go through here and you press the block towards that fence, towards the feather board. You press that forward and then you take the ratchet, put it onto tightening, and you just tighten these bolts down. Look at that, it's so flush. Nice, right? I'm going to show you how this looks underneath. You stay here, cameraman, and I'm going to show them the butthole. See that? Vacuum, suction goes this way, up into there, and out the fucking vacuum. Out. And it provides a zero clearance. So we're going to choose a bit and have it match this profile. I just showed you how effective the vacuum from the bottom is, and now we're going to test the vacuum from the side. I don't have two vacuums. In the ideal situation, you would have one hooked up to this and one hooked up to that, or with a Y. Till then, we're going to try them one by one. We'll measure it. Let's check it out. I'm going to do a rabbet. Right here. There. Rabbet right here. I think that picked up about 98% of the sawdust. And if you could just imagine with the bottom running too, it would be 100%. Okay, that was actually really fun. I'll do that again. I love that. Yeah, 100% baby. Pretty good. I can't wait to do more videos using this thing. What do you guys think about this thing? Tell me if you have any ideas what I should make for jigs and so on. Till next time, guys.